Hello and welcome to another update video about FETCH.AI FET. Let's start on the longer time frame count. I think I don't actually need, I'll just go to the daily chart. For everybody who's new on the channel, just to give you an idea of where we are on this chart. I am tracking, as you know, if you've been following these videos for a while, I'm tracking a large ABC structure here on this chart. Assumption is currently that an A wave topped in March 2021, April 2021. This was basically the top of a corrective rally, which, however, was corrected itself by a correction, which left the door open for higher prices. Generally not the best long-term chart because the initial move up is not in 5 waves. You might say you can count 5 waves, and yes, visually you can, but from experience I can tell you that this here isn't long enough for a reliable third wave. So I cannot really count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you can, but in the grand scheme of things, it also doesn't make a difference. It will along the way, but then we can still adjust. For now, I remain rather on the side of caution, as I have to be when I deal with altcoins. Okay, so of course, there might be an alternative to say, okay, all these are 5 waves, but then the countdown, the move to the downside is rather a 5-wave move. So that doesn't really fit. Okay, so I need to stick to the 3-wave top, and then A, B, C, because the C wave would be 5 waves. That makes sense. And then this here to the upside is now likely a diagonal pattern. And again, if that was a 1, 2, and this was a third wave, the third wave cannot be a diagonal. So therefore, I am counting this as an ABC structure. And the C wave, however, can be a so-called ending diagonal. So if we then go into the more detailed wave count, you can see that this wave 2 of that ending diagonal bottomed in June 2023. And then the third wave is now unfolding. There are some general fib levels that we are watching, but first of all, the third wave would need to be an ABC structure. And this is just because we're dealing with this kind of ending diagonal, right? So if this is an ending diagonal, the third wave is an ABC, like the first one is, and let's say the fifth one is, and so on. And then if we're dealing with the C wave in the third wave, then we have here wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. And the C wave would be a 5-wave move. So currently I'm tracking this here as a 4th wave, even though it's quite massive, but valid. And then we would be looking at a 5th wave to the upside from there. So if we then go to the 1-hour time frame, the question that comes up here in this structure is basically, okay, is the wave 4 already in? Has the wave 4 bottomed? Or, is the wave 4 still unfolding? And if we take a look at this structure here, you can see that I've labeled it as wave 4 with question marks. So the wave 4 could have indeed bottomed here on the 13th of April. That's possible. In that case, the 5th wave would be unfolding. How exactly it's doing that is a bit difficult to say, because this has been morphing a little bit, okay? There is no sustained breakout. I mean, no previous swing lows are broken, as you can clearly see there. So it is forming kind of higher highs and higher lows, but it would need to hold this one as well for another higher low, actually. So we don't have a, let's say, low in place here at the moment. Therefore, still worth being on the side of caution. The yellow count is highly speculative until we finally get a sustained breakout. The price is trying to move higher slowly, but just in very choppy sideways structures. I've slightly adjusted the micro count, the yellow micro count, since the last update. You might realize that if you watch the last videos. I have to do that. I think support, slightly broke here. So previously I looked at the option of having the A wave here, the B wave here, and then this would be like a C wave to the upside. First of all, that C wave would be a bit too long, actually. However, it's possible, but it broke. So all of this could have morphed into a larger ABC structure. So A wave in maybe a WXY, then here a B wave down now, and we can explore if it tries another rally in wave C. The previous one certainly failed. So it might try again from there. And I've added another micro support region that would support the yellow wave count. So micro support is now $2 and between $2.02 and $2.24. Does that mean that needs to hold? No, it's pretty unreliable, as I said. Just some levels to watch, and if indeed the C wave of the larger third wave to the upside is starting somewhere, then it should start before it breaks below the $2.01, $2.02 level there. Because if it does that, then it's too deep for a B wave, for a reliable B wave. Now, okay, B waves are never reliable. You know, if you know about Elliott Wave, then you know that B waves are like the worst, the worst waves to not only to track but also to trade. Okay, so that's very important. However, you know, we can watch these. There's no indication though that a low is in, but the support levels are at $2.45, $2.15, and then $2.02. So that's what I'm tracking. If we go any lower than that, it will open the door for a B wave top in the white count. Zooming out, that would not be bearish. It would be short-term bearish, absolutely, but it would likely send the price just back into the lower range, into that lower support region, which hasn't moved in a couple of months. So this is the stable element of this chart. Bitcoin also has this larger main support area, basically. And here on this chart, it would be defined between $1.27 and $1.57. These are the next support levels. So a break below $2.09 would increase probabilities for us to still be in this larger fourth wave and to test at least $1.57, I'd say. Now, it also takes a break below the red line to fully invalidate that yellow wave count as it is on the chart. And that red line is defined at around $1.85, $1.86. So in summary, we are still moving here in sideways structures, sideways corrections. The yellow count, definitely something I'm observing. It is a little bit speculative, but it's a way for FET to basically escape out of this range. What it would need to do to convince me is a small 5-wave move, like the first wave in the C wave would be good, and then a higher low afterwards. By the way, the larger 5th wave, basically the next milestone target to the upside, points towards round about $5. That's my update about FET. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.